Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the NBC Game of the Week. The date is May the 17th, 1986. We're at Candlestick Park for the Philadelphia Phillies and the San Francisco Giants on inside pitch. And that's going to be the ball game for this week. Let's see if I can fit everything in on here. Got our dice. Looks like everything will fit with the dice pretty well. Went a little bit overzealous on the printing of the Philly lineup. Probably should have made that blue a little bit lighter because I don't think the red writing is showing up quite as well. But it doesn't always turn out the way you hope sometimes. So we're ready to get this thing going here on Payoff Pitch. And I'll give you the schedule for the upcoming ball games in the future as we rotate game engines every Saturday. So next week it'll be Stratomatic's turn. And it'll be the Toronto Blue Jays at the Cleveland Indians on Stratomatic. That's the May 24th game. The May 31st game is the St. Louis Cardinals at Cincinnati on Status Pro. And the June 7th game will be the Astros at the Dodgers on Inside Pitch. So those are the next 3 weeks after this one. But this one is Payoff Pitch. And we are using the cards and dice. Like I said, I know a lot of people like to use the fast action cards, but I kind of prefer to stick to the cards and the dice if possible. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Hello, BB, how are you? Hello, Mr. Replay Gamer. Yeah, I'll talk about Gracie later. I don't really want to get into that right now because people might be coming in and asking about it periodically, and I'll just wait till the end to discuss that. Right now, I just want to concentrate on playing the games, if possible. Starting lineups are right there. If you can't read the Phillies, and you probably can't, let me look on my computer and see if I can read the Phillies, because if I can't read it on my computer, then chances are you can't read it on yours either. Kind of late starting this because I was finishing up a demolition game that took a little bit longer than I thought. So it only gave me about 5 minutes to transition to this. Yeah, I think hello, Robert, how are you doing? Yeah, I think the Phillies are showing up the blue for the Phillies background is a little bit, I didn't get the right shading, so since you can't read the lineups, most likely for the Phillies, I'll show you the lineup on the score sheet. It's Milt Thompson in center, Rick Shue at third, Juan Samuel at second, Mike Schmidt at first, Von Hayes in left, Glenn Wilson in right, Darren Dalton the catcher, Tom Foley at short, and Shane Rawley the pitcher. On their bench, they have available Louis Aguayo, Jeff Russell, Jeff Stone, Greg Rose, Steve Jeltz, Ron Renicky. I know those are hard to read. In the bullpen, they have 3 right-handers, DeColvey, Hume, and Bedrosian, 2 lefties, Carmen and Rucker. So I didn't do a very good job on that, apparently, as they're hard to see. I appreciate that, Robert. I was finishing up playing a game of Demolition League, recording it so I can upload it on Monday, and I looked at the clock, it's like, whoa, it's close to noon, I better get going. So, all right. Again, this is Payoff Pitch, the starting pitching matchup for the two teams. Mike Krukow for the Giants, 20-game winner in 1986, and Shane Rawley, the lefty, for the Phillies, 11-7, 3.54 ERA for him. All right, we got our dice, the 2D10s, and black for the Giants. I could have used a black and an orange one here, but I kind of like the 2D6s to be the same color. It just throws me off if they're not for some reason. So a lot of black there, black and white. That's what we end up going with. All right, let's get this game underway. I don't see any reason to delay it much further. In fact, let me get the bullpen guys a little bit further out of the way to clear up some room here for the base runners and whatnot. Krukow is your starter. And the leadoff man for the Phillies is going to be Milt Thompson. Let's see if I can put him in his pitcher spot and Thompson there and see if you can see all of Thompson's card or whether I have to move him. Hey Jim, how you doing? Nice to see you. Good morning, or good afternoon I should say, here on the East Coast. It is afternoon on a Saturday. Of course, today I believe is May the 14th, 2022. This game is May the 17th, 1986. So couldn't quite get it to sync up like I did last year with the 1982, but what I will do this year is the same as I did last year. I'm letting the Stratomatic computer sim everything else, so at the end of the season I will play the playoffs based on the Stratomatic computer simulation, and we'll do a playoff series much like I did with the 1982 season. So it is Mike Krukow facing Milt Thompson. And let me make sure that everything is copacetic before I get going here. And it looks like I'm going to put Milt Thompson up a little bit higher so you can see everything. He hit 220 against lefties, 257 against righties. So that's why he's in there against the right-hander. I'll just move Krukow up here, and then if I get somebody on second base, I'll just put him on top of Krukow over there. So that's what we'll have to go with. All right, I don't want to delay this any further. You guys came to hopefully watch some payoff pitch baseball, not hear me gibber. So let's get things going. And before we get going, now you know what? I'm going to skip it. I was going to do some music, but we'll skip that. I should have done that to start, but oh well. This was not an official NBC Game of the Week game anyway, I don't believe. I think the Yankees may have been a game, or I think the Mets-Dodgers was probably the actual game, but we had just done the Mets not too long ago, and the Mets are going to come up several more times, so trying to limit the number of Mets games that are going to be played, much to the chagrin of Robert, but that's why. All right, so let's get going. Mike Krukow facing Milt Thompson. Thompson, the center fielder in this game. And we're underway. That is a 10, which is in play, 69. Thompson in play, 69, way out of range. 69 is a ground ball to short. And that's one away. As the shortstop, Uribe, flips over to Will Clark for the first out. Here comes Rick Really Big Shoe, third baseman. He's supposed to be the heir apparent to Mike Schmidt. I don't think it really worked out all that well. That is an 8. Krukow's patient. That's a 13. Patient 13 will be a walk. So Rick Really Big Shoe draws the walk. And he is at first base with one out. Hopefully I did the base running a little bit lighter blue. I should have done the same color in here. I was trying to match it up and it just didn't work out. So, oh well. Can't get everything. All right, here's Juan Samuel. Shoe not really much of a threat to steal. Stole 2 bases, was caught twice. So with Samuel and Schmidt coming up, you really don't want to run yourself out of an inning. So they're going to hold him tight. Here's Krukow to Samuel. That's a 2, which is in play 70. In play 70 is a ground ball to second. And with that being a 2, that's almost an automatic double play. He's a 5, he's a 6. 2 is well under that, so that would be a double play. Samuel grounds into the 4-6-3 double play to end the inning. And Krukow helped out by the twin killing. And that's going to do it for the Phillies here in the top of the first inning. We go to the bottom of the first. Phillies nothing, Giants coming to bat. And lefty Shane Raleigh is your pitcher. And leading off for the Giants will be Dan Mann from Gladden, center fielder. Interestingly enough, he hit 276 against lefties and righties. 9 is ballpark. 48, we go to Candlestick Park for a right-handed hitter. 48 is in play. So it's only an in-play chance, not a wheelhouse chance. So Gladden in play, 56 against the lefty, way out of range. 56 is a ground ball to third. And there is one away. So Gladden is retired, and that brings up Will the Thrill Clark. Clark hit 308 against lefties. He hit better against lefties than he did against righties in 1986. 4 is in play. That's a 51. In play 51 is too high. 51 is a ground ball to first. And Schmidt will take it to the bag himself. And that'll bring up Chris Brown, third baseman. That's a 8, which is patient. 53 against a lefty. That's only goes to 46. 53 against a righty would have been a base hit, but against a lefty, the patient doesn't go quite as much. So 53 will drop down here. He lines it to short. That's the only item on 53 is a liner to short, and he found it. So he lines it right to the shortstop Foley, and that's going to end the first inning. So one inning is in the books, and there's no score from Candlestick Park. And hope everyone is enjoying their Saturday wherever you happen to be. All right, here's Mike Schmidt, Michael Jack Schmidt to be official. He'll be leading things off, followed by Von Hayes and Glenn Wilson. Kruko, 9 is ballpark. That's a 28, so we're in the wheelhouse for Mike Schmidt. Not a good place to be if you're the pitcher. 1-71 is going to be a home run. So Michael Jack Schmidt looking to go deep. He did hit 37 home runs in 1986. And in 33, it's gone. Mike Schmidt just crushed it. And the Phillies grab a 1-0 lead on the Schmidt home run. He just took Kruko downtown and did some harm. So there's one in for the Phillies. They lead it 1-0, and that brings up Von Hayes. 12 is wheelhouse again. That's an 09, and kaboom, Hayes goes deep as well. Back-to-back jacks. It is now 2-0 Phillies. Back-to-back home runs from Hayes and Schmidt. And for Hayes, he had 19 on the season. He hit 340 against righties, only 231 against lefties. So he loves the right-handed pitching. And it is now 2-0 favor of the Phils as they lead off the second inning with 2 jacks. And the Phillies lead it 2-0. And I don't believe Roger Craig is very happy right about now. All right, 9 is ballpark, but it's an 88, so it's in play for Glenn Wilson. No home run this time on an in play. 85 is actually going to be a ground ball to short. So he grounds it to Foley. I'm sorry, grounds it to Uribe for out number 1. And that'll bring up Dutch, Darren Dalton. Injured a lot of the 86 season. Hello, Tim, Tribe fan, former Tribe fan. How are you? Dalton, 6 is tough, 89. Only goes to 64. 89 is a ground ball to second. Robbie Thompson flips to Clark, 2 down, as Kruko tries to recover from those back-to-back jacks. Here's Tom Foley, or maybe call him Tom Foolery, shortstop. That's a 7, which is tough. 09, that's a strikeout to end the inning, but the 2 jacks did the damage. We go to the bottom of the second. Phillies 2, and the Giants nothing. Shane Raleigh given a 2-0 lead to work with. And he'll be facing the Candyman, Candy Maldonado, left fielder, followed by Chili Davis and Bob Brenly. Hey, Patrick, how you doing? Good Saturday afternoon or morning to you, wherever you are. 11 on Raleigh is defense. So we're going to the defensive charts right away. So let's get the defensive charts out. We'll roll and see what the result is. It's a 30. On here, it's a 30. So 30 means, on the charts, 30 means we're checking the range of the center fielder. So we're doing a range check on the center fielder, Milt Thompson. His range is a B. So over here on the chart, a B, 1-37 is a hit, 38-99, he'll make the catch. And that is an 84, so he definitely makes the catch to end the inning. Well, not end the inning, but end the at-bat, I should say. Not end the inning just started. But it's a fly to center. Thompson was able to range over and get it. 1 down. You're from Canada. Oh, cool. Good deal. All right, here's Chili Davis, right fielder. That's a 9, which is ballpark again, but it's a 93, so we're in play for Chili Davis. But that's a 14, so that'll work. That's a single for Chili Davis. Anytime you get those low numbers like that on in play, it's generally a base hit. So Chili Davis gets himself a 1-out single. tying run is now at the plate in Bob Brenly. And Brenly does have some pop, 16 home runs. So can't take him for granted, that's for sure. He did hit .268 against left-handers. That's a 7, which is tough, 74. That's out of range. 74 is a fly to center. That's out number 2. Brenly is put away. And that brings up Robbie Thompson. And Davis has no interest in trying to steal. He's not trying to go anywhere. He did steal 16 bases, but got caught 13 times, so down 2-0. They don't want to run themselves out of further inning. 7 is tough. That's a 74. Only goes to 65, though, so 74 is a ground ball to second. And since it's the third out, we'll just say he throws it to first to end the inning. So that's going to do it for the Giants. They get a base hit, but that's it. After 2 complete, it's 2-0 Phils over the homestanding Giants. Krukow back out, and pitcher hitting card for Shane Raleigh is pitcher hitting card number 5. And he does bat right-handed. According to his card, he does bat right. Even though he pitches lefty, he bats right, and it's a 5. So we're using pitcher hitting card number 5, and he is a righty. Not that it matters, because the pitcher card doesn't have any splits. So it really doesn't matter. He's just pitcher hitting card number 5. That's it. So, all right, we got a 5, which is tough, 92, tough 92. Tough on a pitcher hitting card is generally going to be a strikeout all the way, with a few rare exceptions. So Raleigh is out on strikes. We flip the order over now to Milt Thompson. And that's a 6, which is tough, 63 against a righty. Only goes to 60, so he just misses a hit. 63 is a ground ball to short. And that's what he did the first time up as well. So he's 0 for 2 with 2 ground outs to short. And that brings up Rick Shue. That is a 9, which is ballpark, but it's 88, so we're going to the in-play. And in-play 72, definitely out of range. 72 is a fly to center. That's going to end the inning. So Krukow, much better here in the third. Much, much better here in the third. We go to the bottom of the third, still 2-0 Phillies. And the bottom of the order coming up, Jose Uribe, switch hitting shortstop for the Giants against Shane Raleigh. That's a 3, which is patient, 93 though, so 93 is well out of range. 93 is a fly to right. Generally, anything in the 90s is going to be a fly ball somewhere. And the pitcher hitting card for Krukow, he is also using pitcher hitting card number 5. 3 is patient, 27. Patient 27 against this number 5 here. Patient 27 is a base hit. So how about that? Mike Krukow smacks a base hit. And yes, I did learn from my previous thing and do have base running markers for the pitchers. So Krukow does get a base hit off the patient result. Gets that base hit. And Dan Gladden, the batter. To 5, in play 19. In play 19 is another base hit. Lead die is a 1, so we go to runner advancement with the charts. And let's check the runner advancement. Where are my runner advancement parts? Here. That's the problem. You get so many charts, sometimes you have to remember where the base running advancement is. Here we go, base running, whoops. Base running advancement. Base running advancement, a lead die of 1 means the runner on first gets 1 base. So it's a 1 base advancement, and that figures for Krukow, that's what it would be. So Krukow's at second. Gladden now at first. 1 out. And that brings up Will the Thrill Clark. So Will Clark, after back-to-back base hits, chance to get his Giants back in the ball game with 1 out. That's a 10, which is tough. 06, that's a strikeout. Tough low number usually means a strikeout. And Will Clark paid the price for that. 2 down, and that brings up Chris Brown. Line to short is first time up. It's a 7, which is tough. 13, that's another low number. Tough, it's a strikeout. So, whoops. So Shane Raleigh comes back with 2 big strikeouts to get himself out of the jam and keep the score at 2-0. So nice job there by Shane Raleigh. And I noticed on my computer that it's like a time delay almost. Seems like it's running behind by like 10 seconds or something. So I can't really tell because I hit the board and I want to make sure it didn't change your viewing. Kruko back out. We'll be facing Juan Samuel. So I want to make sure that everything still shows up all right. So I'll delay until it comes up on my computer that I can see what's going on. I really don't want to hold it up too much, I don't guess, because right now on my computer, Chris Brown's still batting. Just came up to bat, and I'm ready to go already. So I don't know why there's a delay there, but for whatever reason it is. So it looks like when I fixed the board, nothing happened. So we're ready to go. Juan Samuel. Whoops, would help to be able to put the dice in the dice tray. 10 is in play. 94, that's fly to left. Again, you get those 90s, you're pretty much going to be hitting a fly out to left. Here's Mike Schmidt. He homered first time up to start the scoring. That's a 7, which is tough, 35. And against a right-hander, that's a strikeout. Against a left-hander, he would have popped to short. But against a righty, he strikes out. So Schmidt out on strikes. Kruko trying to get a little bit of revenge. And here's Von Hayes, who also homered. That is a 8, which is patient. 84, that's out of range. Patient goes up to 79 for hits, but 84 is a fly to center. And it's a 1-2-3 inning turned in by Mike Kruko. Keep the score at 2-0, but he needs his mates to get him some runs. Shane Raleigh pitching well. Will face Candy Maldonado, Chili Davis, and Bob Brenly. In that order. So Maldonado, his first time up, flew to center. That's a 7, which is tough. And 15, that's definitely a strikeout. Low numbers tough, generally a strikeout. So Maldonado is out of there. 1 away. For Chili Davis, switch hitter. Much better against righties, though. He hit 302 against righties, only 226 against lefties. So that definitely will come into play. 7 is tough. 66, going to be out of range. 66 is a fly to left. So 2 down. And that brings up Bob Brenly. That's a 3. That's patient. 84. Patient 84 is out of range. Only goes to 71. 84 is a ground ball to short, and the inning's over. So Shane Raleigh, tidy job with those giant hitters. We now go to the 5th. It's 2-0. Kruko back out. He's got a fatigue of 7. Shane Raleigh also fatigue of 7. So the way they're pitching, they seem to be okay. Don't want to hit those. You really don't want to go to those fatigue cards. Those can be really devastating. So here is Glenn Wilson. That's a leaner, so I could call it a 6 there, but that's a leaner, so I'm going to re-roll that just to be fair. That's a 7, which is tough, 47, against a right-hander. Tough 47 is a base hit for Glenn Wilson. How about that? Fought off that tough pitch and got himself a base knock. So Glenn Wilson, leadoff single for Mr. Wilson. Stole 5 bases, got caught once. Not really that much of a stolen base person, so we're going to hold him there. Here is Darren Dalton. Kruko 10 is in play. 73, well out of range. 73 is a fly to center. Dalton flies out to Gladden for out number 1. And that brings up Tom Foley. We get an 8, which is patient. 13, that's a walk. So Foley draws a 1-out walk, puts runners at first and second for the pitcher, Shane Raleigh, who's definitely, you would assume, would be looking to bunt. Even though there's already 1 out, you still You want to hopefully avoid a double play and try to get runners in scoring position, both runners in scoring position. Even though he's a decent hitter at pitch hitting card number 5, I think you pretty much want to stick with a bunt. And according to this, he is a B bunter. So let's go to our bunt chart. Get my bunt chart out. Find that chart now. That's the only problem. There's a lot of charts. And when I don't play the game all the time, I don't always know where the charts are. All right, so sacrifice bunt. We're going to roll 2 D10s plus 1 D6 to see who fields it. He is a B bunter. I'm assuming that when you play the corners in, you would drop him like you do in Strat to be a C bunter. Let's see, does it say that in the rules? I don't think it says it in the rule, but it just makes sense to me. But maybe you don't. I'll keep him as a B. How about that? All right, we get an 0-1. Do you believe that? An 0-1 and an 0-1 on a bunt. An 0-1 is a PO, which is batter pops out, runner holds. So there's no suicide squeeze going on, but just a pop out. The 3 means it's fielded by the first baseman. So Schmidt was charging, and he fielded the pop up. And there's Clark rather. And there's 2 away. Clark could have let that hit maybe and try to get a double play out of it, but I guess instinct took over and he made the catch. So now there's 2 down with 2 on, and Milt Thompson, the batter. Thompson has grounded to short twice. Hey Mark, how you doing? Where's Strat? Well, Strat will be in the next game in the rotation. Cleveland hosting Toronto. That will be next Saturday in Stratomatic, super advanced. But this is payoff pitch because we're in that part of the rotation. All right, so Milt Thompson's chance to try to add to this lead with 2 outs and 2 on. We get a 5, which is tough, 88. That's well out of range, and 88 is a ground ball to second. We'll just say he throws it to first to end the inning. And Kruko keeps the Phillies at bay, but not getting any run support from his mates right now. Still 2-0. Shane Raleigh back out. And he'll be facing Robbie Thompson. It'll be Thompson, Uribe, and Kruko due up for the Giants. That's a 9, which is ballpark, 34 for a right-handed hitter. That is the wheelhouse. So Robbie Thompson found one in the wheelhouse against a lefty, only a 1-19 for a home run, but a 1-56 will be a hit. That's a 45, so that will be a base hit for Robbie Thompson. Leadoff single, as Shane Raleigh put one in there where he shouldn't have. And Thompson didn't get the home run, but he got a nice line drive single to start off the Giants' half of the 5th. So Thompson is aboard, brings up Uribe. Uribe, the batter. Thompson, running-wise, stole 12 bases, but got caught 15 times. I believe he got caught 4 times in one game, if I'm not mistaken. So that's where those numbers are coming from. But we're gonna hold him there and let Uribe do something. Raleigh, 8 is patient, 91 though, patient 91. That's a ground ball to second base. Could be a double play. His double play is a 5, his is a 6, but the total is an 8. So it will be a fielder's choice. Thompson will be eliminated, and Uribe will be the new runner at first base. So fielder's choice on that result. It'll go 4-6 on the fielder's choice for out number 1. And that will bring up Kruko. Question is, do you have him bunt? He got a base hit last time, so they're going to have him swing away. They're going to try to fool the Phillies and have him swing away. We get an 8, which is patient 39. Patient 39, he just missed a base hit. Up to 35 who to reach base, but 39 is going to be a ground ball to first. That's an 8. His double play is a 9, but his is only a 6. So it will be a fielder's choice, 3-6. Schmidt throws to Foley for the force, and that puts Kruko at first base with 2 down. So 2 down, took a chance and it didn't work, but sometimes you got to take those chances. But Dan Gladden still has an opportunity with the runner on base and 2 down. Mr. Gladden. Raleigh, a 7 is tough. 94, that's definitely out of range. 94 is a fly to left. Ends the inning. And the Giants come away empty-handed once again. Shane Raleigh, 5 shutout frames for Mr. Raleigh. Might have to call him Sir Walter Raleigh the way he's pitching. So that's going to take care of things. Here in the 5th, we go to the 6th. Still 2-0 favor of the Phillies. Kruko back out. We'll be facing Rick Shue, third baseman, to lead it off. 7 is tough. 29. Tough 29 is a strikeout. So Shue is retired. And that'll bring up Juan Samuel. Grounded to a double play in the 1st, flew to left in the 4th. 5 is tough. 32. Tough 32, another strikeout. So Kruko got in the groove, but had those 2 mistake pitches back-to-back that have cost him for those 2 runs, those 2 solo homers by Schmidt and Hayes. You get a 5, that's tough again. 41, that's another strikeout. So he strikes out the side here in the 6th. 3 straight tough pitches that the Philly batters were unable to handle. You go to the bottom of the 6th, still 2-0. Favor of the Phillies. And it'll be heart of the order for the Giants. Clark, Brown, and Maldonado due up for the Giants. Clark, though, 0 for 2, grounded to first and struck out. That's a 7, which is tough, 22, and that's another strikeout. So Will Clark down on strikes. We're hitting those tough results, and it's not helping the batters at all. Here's Chris Brown, third baseman. 12 is in play, 30. And in play 30 for Chris Brown against a lefty. In play 30 is a base hit. So Chris Brown gets his first hit of the game, a 1-out single. He is aboard. And that will send up the cleanup man, Candy Maldonado. Chris Brown not really a threat to go anywhere. Stole 13 bases, got caught 9 times. So down 2-0, you don't want to run yourself out of an inning. They'll let Maldonado swing Maldonado swing away. 7 is tough, 83. Tough 83 is a ground ball to short. Could be a double play. That's a 7. His double play is a 9, but his is only a 6, so it's going to be a fielder's choice. They can't quite turn it. It's going to go 6-4. But Maldonado fast enough to beat the relay, so Maldonado will be the new runner at first base with 2 down for Chili Davis. And again, next week it will be Stratomatic. It'll be the Toronto Blue Jays traveling to the Mistake by the Lake to take on the Cleveland Indians in Stratomatic Super Advanced. That's what next week brings. Here is Chili Davis. 11 is defense. So we're going to our defensive charts once again. So we got defense. So let me get my defensive chart out so I can know where I'm looking. Again, when you get all these charts, sometimes it's confusing. But I do like to use the charts. That's the thing. But when you don't play the game, every day, if I play this game all the time, I'd have my system down with these charts for sure. So here we go, defensive chart. We're straight. All right, so defense, and it's 38. So 38 on the defense says we're checking an error on the pitcher. So it's an error check on Raleigh, and his error rating, he has a 1, which is the worst you can have. So a 1 to 73, and we got an error on Shane Raleigh. And I rolled the 2d6s to see if it's a 1-base error or a 2-base error, assuming it is an error. It's a 69, so it is an error. That's a 5. So according to the defensive chart, if there is an error on the pitcher and we get a 5, it's a 1-base error. So it's an E1 as Shane Raleigh boots it, keeps the inning going. Maldonado will take second base, and Chili Davis will be the new runner at first thanks to the E1 that keeps the inning going. Sometimes those can come back to bite you when you give a team 4 outs. And we'll see what happens. Bob Brenly is your batter. Bob Brenly. See what we can do against Raleigh. 7 is tough. 41 looks like. Tough 41 doesn't matter. Tough 41 or tough 47 have been a strikeout either way. So Raleigh pitches around his error and keeps the Giants off the board. We played 6. Still 2-0 Phils. And now we go to the 7th, and this is where the fatigue inning can start to come into play. Hello, Jack. How are you doing? All right, so Kruko, the batter, or the pitcher, rather. This, again, is his point of weakness inning. He's only given up 2 runs. To get fatigued, he has to give up 3 or more. So he's still okay, although the bullpen, a little bit light tossing down there. It looks like Mark Davis, a lefty, is doing some light tossing. But no panic as of yet, because Kruko did strike out the last 3 guys he faced. All right, here's Von Hayes. It's a 7, which is tough. That 0-0, that's a rare play. So rare play on a tough result. So let's get to the rare play on the tough with nobody on base. So I get the bases empty. Bases empty, tough result. So let's find that one. See the one for in play. Bases empty, tough result. Got it right here. Bases empty, tough result, rare play. Roll 2 D10s and see what happens. That's a 77. So rare play on a 77 tough with the bases empty. 77, batter strikes out on a great pitch by pitcher, but catcher drops the ball. Roll 1d6. If equal or less than the catcher's E rating, catcher makes easy throw to first base to secure the strikeout. If the D6 result is higher than the catcher's E rating, catcher throws wildly, allowing batter to reach base safely. Batter with a run rating of 7 or more advances to second base on the error. Otherwise, batter safe at first. Records a strikeout and an E2. Batting team gets an extra out. Obviously. So basically, it's a strikeout opportunity, but you got to throw the runner. He didn't catch it, so you got to throw it to first base. You got to roll 1d6 and check the error chance of the catcher. In this case, that is Bob Brenly. His error rating is a 5. So it says here, if it's higher than his E rating, then it throws wildly. So this has to be a 6. If it's not a 6, he will make the play. It's a 5, so he barely made the play, but he did. And that's out number 1. So almost got away from him, but Kruko, another strikeout. It's 4 in a row. 4 in a row. Jack, there's a lot. I think there's several. I know there's like several how-to videos on payoff pitch that are really good to check out. Not by me, but by other people. And it wouldn't be a bad idea to check that out because it's a pretty easy game to learn, but if you watch somebody do a how-to one, it probably would make more sense as the game goes along. Here's Glenn Wilson. Do I have the new updated? This is the new one I bought, but it's a PDF. I didn't buy this. I didn't buy the card set. I bought the PDF. I kind of wish I'd bought the card set, but trying to save a little money. And now since I got it all printed out, I don't see any reason in buying the card set now. It's just I don't use it that much, so, and I've got 86 in inside pitch and Stratomatic, so it's just, and also got it in APA. So that's why I went with the PDF on that one. Oh, and Stratomatic, yeah, I've got both of them. I've got the original and I've got the new one on Stratomatic. All right, Glenn Wilson. Kruko, 7, tough. 54, tough 54, just out of range. 53 would have been a hit, but 54 instead is a ground ball to third. That's out number 2. So Kruko is scheduled to bat third next inning, so this is probably his last inning. Most likely his last inning because he is scheduled to bat third in the bottom of the 7th. So very likely to be his last inning of pitching. Down 2-0, they're going to need batters for sure. So right now, Darren Dalton, 0 for 2. He grounded to second in the 2nd and flew to center in the 5th. Kruko, 12 is wheelhouse, 52. Dalton in the wheelhouse, 52. It is gone. So he found that wheelhouse in the 12, and he is gone, and he is now tired as Kruko. Because that home run, I believe he is tired, or do you have to give up more than 3 runs? I've got to check the rule on that. But that's his 3rd run allowed. It is now 3-0, and he is in his fatigue inning. Tom Foley is the batter. And I've got to figure out on the rules. I don't remember off the top of my head. If anybody's watching that can remind me on the fatigue rolls or the fatigue rulings, does he have to give up 3 runs or more, or does it have to be over 3? Because right now he's 3 runs and he's at his fatigue inning. So I'm thinking he is fatigued, and I got to pull out a fatigue pitcher to try to get this last out. I think that's what I have to do. So let's go to the fatigue pitcher cards, which I have in here somewhere. Fatigue pitcher. And check what the results are. Fatigue starting pitcher. All right, I got a card out here for fatigue starting pitcher. And based on what the result is where we're going to look possibly. Kruko is facing Tom Foley, but since he's going to lead bat 3rd next inning, they really don't want to bring in one guy to pitch 1 inning or face one batter. So I think they're going to have him just go ahead and pitch to Foley. We get an 8, which is patient, and that is a 33. I'm sorry, a 93. Patient 93, but the patient here, 1-67 if it's patient. Let's see here. Change ballpark or wheelhouse. Patient may change. Use percentile dice roll and chart below. Tough may change. So it didn't fall into 1-67, so it's not going to change. So the 93 is going to end up being a fly to right to end the inning. I think I did that right, but like I said, when you don't play the game very often, you have to do the thing. So he is tired for sure, obviously. So we will end up going to the bottom of the 7th inning stretch, and I got to stand up and stretch myself. But that's it for Kruko. He is done. He is done for the day, as he has given up 3 runs in 7 innings, so his day is done. 3-0 Phils as we go to the bottom of the 7th. All 3 runs were solo home runs. How about that? Obviously all earned because they were all solo home runs. So for the Giants, it will be Thompson, Uribe, and a pitcher spot. So we need a pinch hitter for the Giants. And you can see on their bench, they've got a couple of lefties, a couple of righties, and a switch. So let's see who they might want to go to. Their better pinch hitters, I think, are right-handed, and they are. So it looks like it's either going to be Jeff Leonard or Joel Youngblood. I guess we'll go to Jeff Leonard. He's got the most at-bats that I can see. So we'll go to Jeff Leonard. He will pinch hit in the 3rd spot of the inning. And then we'll get a new pitcher for the Giants in the top of the 8th. So right now it's Thompson, Uribe, and Leonard that will be coming up for the Phils. Thank you, Jack. Let's see. Hi, Glenn. How are you doing? Over 2 earned runs, so he's tired. Okay. I didn't know if it was over 3 or over 2. Shameless plug, no problem. It is Bill Travers against Catfish Hunter. Inside pitch, Milwaukee and the Yankees. Check out RJL Network for that tonight. I'm assuming around 8 o'clock. I think it's 8 o'clock. Usually he does it at 8 o'clock. Not sure, but usually I think that's usual time frame. It's around there. All right, so Robbie Thompson, the batter, here in the bottom half of the 7th. Raleigh, this is his fatigue inning, but he's pitching a shutout, so he's definitely good to go. Thompson got an 8, which is patient, but it's a 99. That's not going to help. That's a fly to left, 1 away. You get those 90s, you kind of know it's going to be an out. So that brings up Jose Uribe, shortstop. That is a 3, which is patient, 62, but it's out of range, 62. It only goes to 33 against lefties. So 62 is a fly to left again. 2 down. And that's going to bring up the pinch hitter. 1 flap down, Jeffrey Leonard. And try to jack one with 2 outs and the base is clear. Did have 6 home runs, but not that much power. But what are you going to do? You got to use who you have on your bench. So Jeffrey Leonard is now gone. We get a 6, which is in play, 42, and that's out of range. Only goes to 32. 42 is a ground ball right back to Shane Raleigh, and the inning is over. So Shane Raleigh pitching 7 innings of shutout ball, just taking care of the Giants, and the fans at Candlestick are not happy about it whatsoever. All right, we go to the top of the 8th. We need a new pitcher for the Giants, and you can see everybody they have available. Coming up for the Phillies, it's top of the order, Thompson, Shue, and Samwell, and Schmidt. 3 of the first 4 are right-handed, so even though the leadoff guy is lefty, everybody else is a righty. So I think they're going to a right-hander in the pen. Let's see who that's going to be. Is it going to be Robinson or is it going to be Berenguer? Let's see who they want to go to. They are going to go to Juan Berenguer. Berenguer on the 86 season was 2-3 with a 2.70 ERA and 4 saves. So he will be on, Mr. Berenguer, to try to keep the score where it is at 2-0. Juan Berenguer. So Berenguer actually will be facing the pitcher, Shane Raleigh. He will be the leadoff man. I agree, Mr. BB. He does do a good job, although I think maybe Steeler fan might have thought that until the end of that Astro game that it was a fix in when the Dodgers came back, but I guess he was happy with the end result as it turned out. Since I won't spoil it for anybody who hadn't watched it, but it was a great game, Dodgers and Astros. I believe it was game 2 in the Astrodome, but it ebbs and flows, went back and forth in that game. Inside pitch, a very fun game, very fun game. Hello, Mr. Utah Mike. How are you, sir? All right, so Shane Raleigh's pitching a shutout. I'm not taking him out. I mean, why? He's not tired and he's pitching a shutout, so why take him out? They're going to let him swing away. His pitcher hitting card number 5. So Juan Berenguer, it's his first batter faced. That's a 7, which is tough. So when you're in the pitcher card, tough is generally a strikeout, and that one is no exception. But they don't care. They want his pitching. They don't care about his hitting. So back to the top of the order for Milt Thompson. Thompson has grounded out 3 times. Grounded to short twice and grounded to second once. 0 for 3. All right, we got a 5, which is Patient 80. Patient 80 against a righty. Only goes to 72, so 80 is going to be a fly to center. And there's 2 away here in the top of the 8th. Brings up Rick Shue. 9 is Patient. 93, though, another high result. Going to be a fly out to left in the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. Still 3-0 Phillies on 3 solo home runs. Back-to-back jacks by Schmidt and Hayes in the 2nd, and a solo shot by Dalton in the 7th. Have accounted for all the runs. So Shane Raleigh back out. Let's see how many hits Shane Raleigh has given up. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's pitching a 5-hit shutout through 7 innings, so no problems there. And he has not walked anyone. So did make an error to allow an extra base runner, but he's still... Phillies really haven't threatened. In fact, they've got nobody past second base yet. I'm sorry, the Giants haven't threatened. No one past second base. Going to see what they can do. They're top of the order for Dan Gladden. Gladden, Clark, and Brown here in the bottom of the 8th. Down 3-0. They got to get going quickly. That's a 6, which is in play. 21. Gladden against the lefty is a base hit. So Dan Gladden gets a leadoff single, and that's what the Giants need. They need base runners. You're down 3-0. You need base runners. They're not going to try to steal with Gladden. You're down 3-0. Him being at first or second is almost irrelevant, so they need base runners. They need multiple base runners. They want to keep the train moving. They're not going to take any chances of him getting thrown out. So here's Will Clark. Will the thrill. He's had a rough game. Struck out twice, 0 for 3. 6 is in play. 71, though. 71's well out of range. 71's a ground ball to short. That's a 6. His double play rating's only a 5, though, so it will be a fielder's choice. 6-4. Clark does avoid the double play, but erases the fast-running Thompson with the slower-running Will Clark. But like I said, they're not worried about stealing bases, so I doubt it matters. So Will Clark is on first. Chris Brown is the batter with 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 8th, 3-0 Phils. That's an 8, which is patient. 25 against a lefty, patient 25, and that is a base hit. Base hit. Lead die is a 2. We'll check the base runner advancement on the chart. Because like I said, I'm using the chart. I'm not using the fast action cards. We're looking for runner advancement. Lead die of 2 with a run on first base. A lead die of 2 is a 2-base advancement. So Will Clark will motor to third. Chris Brown at first. Runners are at the corners. The tying run is at the plate in Candy Maldonado with 1 out and runners on the corners. Bullpen now for the Phillies starting to loosen. Kent DeColvey, the venerable right-hander, is loosening in the pen. Candy Maldonado, the batter, he is the cleanup man. Raleigh trying to bear down. Infield at double play depth. 11, that's defense. 73, so the defensive chart on a 73. We go to our defense. Defensive chart 73, assuming I can find it. There it is. Defense 73 is an error check on the shortstop. Shortstop in this case is Foley. His error rating is a 4. So 1-39 will be an error. 40 or higher, he makes the play. And we'll roll the 2d6 to see what kind of out it is, if it is an out. But a 1-39, and we got an error. That's an 81. I'm sorry, 81, so there's no error there. He makes the play. That's a 6. So we go to our out chart on a 6. 6 for an infielder. The out chart is a ground ball fielder's choice. So the fielder's choice is they're going to get Brown at second base for the fielder's choice. They cannot turn the double play. Will Clark will score. And the Giants are finally on the board 3-1. But it's going to go 6-4 on the force play. Scoring is Clark. Cut it to 3-1. And at first base is Candy Maldonado. Tying run again is at the plate. In Chili Davis, a switch hitter. He hits much better against righties, so they're not going to bring in DeColvey. They're going to keep Shane Raleigh out there. 2 outs, and Chili Davis, the batter. In the 3-1 game here in the bottom of the 8th, he is the tying run. That's an 8. Patient 36. Patient 36 is a base hit against a lefty. Lead die of 4. Lead die of 4. Let's get the base running advancement again. Go back to that. Base running advancement chart. On a lead die of 4. Runner on first gets first base plus choice. With 2 outs, runner rated 6 gets the 2 bases. Maldonado's run rating is a 6, so he will take third automatically, and that's going to be it for Shane Raleigh. He's going to have to leave as he couldn't quite finish out this 8th inning. Chili Davis aboard, and now things are getting rough, and they're going to the venerable Kent DeColvey out of the bullpen to try to quell this rally. So Kent DeColvey, not the closer. Bedrosian was the closer, but they are going to DeColvey. And on the 86 season, DeColvey was 11-5 with a 2.54 ERA and 4 saves. So Kent DeColvey coming on to face Bob Brenly, unless they want to pinch hit for Brenly. Brenly's a pretty decent hitter, though. And then they don't have a whole lot on the bench that's any good. So I think you're going to stick with Bob Brenly here. So runners are at the corners, 3-1 game, but Giants are threatening to make it closer. Of course, a long ball would put the Giants in the lead, and DeColvey would really be upset about that. Here's the pitch from DeColvey. That's an 11, which is in play 33. His wild pitch chance only goes to 31, so no wild pitch. In play 33, though, is out of range. It's going to be a pop up to first, and Schmidt hauls it in to end the inning. So Tekulve does his job. He took care of things and got out of the 8th inning as he induced Brenly to pop it up to Schmidt. And we go to the top of the 9th with the score of Phillies 3 and Giants 1. And now we need a new pitcher for the Giants as well, I believe, unless Berenguer wants to come back. Let's see what Berenguer would like to do. He went 1-2-3 last inning, so they might as well leave him out there. He's going to be out there to face Samwell, Schmidt, and Hayes. So Berenguer back out. 3-1 ball game. He's trying to keep it that way. Hello, Mr. Steve Tower. How are you, sir? I hope you are enjoying the Baseball America baseball card 10th anniversary set. Looks pretty cool. I might end up getting that somewhere down the line. I don't know. But it looks pretty cool. All right, here is Samwell. Juan played against Samwell. 3-1 ball game, top of the 9th. Berenguer, rather. 6 is tough, 46. Tough 46, struck him out. So Samwell out on strikes. Out number 1 for Michael Jack Schmidt. He is homered in the 2nd, but then struck out the last 2 times. So feast and famine is what you get with Schmidt. That's a 2, which is in play 37. That's too far. 37's a pop up to the catcher, so he pops it up to Brenly for out number 2. Steve Bedrosian is ready in the bullpen for the bottom of the 9th for the Phillies. They may just let Tekulve face the 1 batter and be done with it because they really want to go to their closer, Bedrosian, I do believe. So here's Von Hayes. That's a 4, which is tough, 66. Against a right-hander, that's definitely out of range. 66 is a fly to left to end the inning. And we go to the bottom of the 9th. And it will be Mr. Steve Bedrosian, Bedrock. He will come in to pitch the bottom of the 9th and try to close the deal. Shane Raleigh ended up going 7 2/3. He's qualified for the win. Tekulve would technically get a hold, I assume, if the Phillies end up winning this game in regulation. Bedrosian is your new pitcher. He'll be facing Thompson, Uribe, and a pinch hitter, most likely Joel Youngblood, because he's the best pinch hitter off the bench. Even though he's right-handed, they may go to him because he has better average than what's on the bench. So Bedrosian is on. Bottom of the 9th, 3-1. Robbie Thompson. Thompson is 1 for 3, singled in the 5th. Bottom of the 9th underway. 4 is tough. Look at all those tough results on Bedrosian. Tough 39 struck him out. So Steve Bedrosian puts the K on Robbie Thompson. And now Uribe is up. They're going to pinch hit for Uribe. So we might get double pinch hitting action around here. Let's look at the bench for the Giants. They're actually going to go to Mike Woodward. So Mike Woodward will hit for Uribe. So we have Woodward getting the pinch hitting, and then Joel Youngblood would hit for the pitcher spot. So we're going to have Woodward pinch hit for Uribe, and if it does somehow go to the extra innings, Quinones will play short, and then they're going to have Joel Youngblood pinch hit for the pitcher spot. So back-to-back pinch hitters here in the 9th against Mr. Bedrosian. So Woodward, a lefty, against Bedrosian. 9, tough 90. Tough 90 is going to be a ground ball to second. Easy play for Samwell. 2 up and 2 down. And now it's all up to Joel Youngblood. He was a .287 hitter against right-handers. So it's up to Joel Youngblood, and that's going to be the ball game if he can't get it done. Bedrosian looking for the save. 6 is tough. 0-5, he struck him out, and that's the ball game. Steve Bedrosian locks it up. 3-1 victory in favor of the Phillies. Those 3 solo home runs did end Mike Krukow. Krukow, the loser, Shane Raleigh, the winner. Bedrosian, the save. Let me get the totals for you on hits and runs and all that stuff. Don't believe, were there any errors made? I see no errors were made. I thought there was, no, there was one error, I'm sorry. There was one error made, that was by the Phillies, Shane Raleigh, but it didn't hurt him any. So let's check the hits. For the Phillies, 1, 2, 3, I'm sorry, 3, 4. They only had 4 hits, 3 of them were home runs, 1 was a single. So they only had 4 hits, but they made the most of them. 1 single and 3 home runs, go figure. For the Giants, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 hits for the Giants. We'll check left on base for the Phillies. 1, 2, 2. They only left 2 on base. And for the Giants, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They left 8 on base. So there are your unofficial totals, or official totals, whatever you want to call them. Phillies win it 3-1. 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 error, and 2 left on for the Phillies. 1 run, 8 hits, no errors, and 8 left on for the Giants. Winning pitcher was Shane Raleigh. The loser was Mike Krukow, and the save to Steve Bedrosian. And there's a score sheet, the kind of a messy score sheet if you want to take a look at that. It's kind of messy, but I was mainly using it just to keep track of things. Stand up now since I've been sitting down for so long. I never really stood up for the 7th inning stretch like I had planned on. I had asked earlier, complete game. No, it wasn't a complete game, unfortunately, but you know, it could be. At some point in '86, they had complete games. They had a lot of complete games in '86, I do believe. Since somebody had asked earlier about Gracie and how she was doing, turns out it's her left leg that's causing other problems that she cannot stand on. She is eating and drinking very well. We do have puppy pads down for her to use the bathroom. And I bought this. I'm doing some rehabilitation with her. I bought this little sling thing that fits under her stomach, and it has these straps, and it kind of takes the pressure or the weight off the leg. And we've been walking around the living room periodically trying to get her some exercise. Haven't taken her outside yet to do that. I did initially the first day, but she didn't seem to like that. So she seems to do better on the inside. So I don't know, I mean, this could be her life the rest of the way where she just, never walks anymore. I don't know. My hope and prayer is that we can rehabilitate that left leg and get her walking again, at least be able to walk with the sling so that I can take her outside and she can go for walks and use her, do her business out there. But right now I'm having to baby her a little bit. So I come home every day at lunch and change out her puppy pad and make sure she's sitting in a nice dry spot and having the best life she can have for a 15 and a half, almost 16-year-old dog. She seems to be in good spirits, all things considered. Sits up a lot. Happy to see me when I get home. Happy to see my wife when she gets home. So it's, there's no situation there where she's depressed or wanting to crawl into a closet or something like that, or being where she's not, doesn't want to be around anyone. So if that was the case, then I would seriously consider, taking the ultimate step that I really don't want to take. But as long as she's eating and drinking and seems to be in decent spirits, in fact, she's just, about 10 feet from me in the living room here, sitting on her little blanket and puppy pad, just kind of resting. So since she's, at least somewhat having an enjoyable life, and I don't want to take that away from her. I will just do what I can to help her out. Like I said, try the therapy and see if that helps. And we'll play it by ear and see how things go later on. But right now, we're just kind of playing it day by day. And is it a little inconvenient to drive 20 minutes each way to come back on my hour lunch? Yes, I'll get about 15 minutes with her when I'm here to check everything, but it's well worth it. I don't want to come home and have her sit in a puppy pad that's, got pee all over it all afternoon. That would not be a good thing to do. And yes, I did see on Facebook where Anthony, I believe, had to euthanize his dog, which was really sad because, at some point I may be in that same situation. So I definitely feel for anyone that, especially a pet they've had for a long, long time. So yeah, I really, this game here was a good way for me to kind of escape everything, at least for the moment. But like I said, it's nowhere near as dire this Saturday as I thought it was going to be last Saturday. I really didn't know. We actually never got an appointment with the vet, and I don't think the vet would be able to do anything for us anyway. She's too old for any kind of surgery, so we kind of just have to take it day by day. And as long as she's eating and drinking and able to use the restroom and in decent spirits, she's happy when she can still bark, she can still wag her tail, she can still lick my face and all that stuff. She's happy to see me, and she's eating well. If she stops eating or drinking, that's a big concern. But right now she's not doing that. And every day we're going for little walks around the house with that sling and trying to get her leg used to moving again, because we don't want her to get to where she's not moving at all. So all things considered, between last Saturday and this Saturday, I'm very blessed that she's still okay. But like I said, it's going to be a long haul, and I don't know what the final result's going to be. This may be her life the rest of the way. I don't know. If it is, then I'll try to make her as comfortable as possible, and if I have to go out of my way to do things like I've been doing this week, I will do it. I'll keep coming home for lunch, and even though, like I said, it's 20 minutes each way and about 21 minutes each way, I guess. So my lunch hour is narrowed down. I get about 15 minutes with her to check everything, but I will do it. I will do it if every day that I have to, until she gets better or until the ultimate worst thing happens. So don't want to belabor that, but I know people had asked about it, and if I didn't mention it at all, people would be wondering what's going on. So I did want to mention that just so people would know what's going on. So right now it's just a day-by-day thing, and we'll see what happens. I do appreciate everybody. Who came in this afternoon to watch the game live, and those, of course, that are watching it later. And as I said, next week it'll be Stratomatic Super Advanced, and we will be going back to the American League. It'll be Toronto at Cleveland, and then the week after that we rotate to Status Pro with the Cardinals at the Reds. And then the week after that, we go back to Inside Pitch. Be the first time to see the NL West champion Houston Astros as they travel to Chavez Ravine to take on the Dodgers. So those will be the next three things in line. Next game on Payoff Pitch. Let me go find that and see who's scheduled for that. The next Payoff Pitch game is going to be the Kansas City Royals at the California Angels, which was an actual NBC game of the week. I think Don Sutton was actually trying for his 300th game in that game, but I'm not sure. Toronto, Cleveland, St. Louis, Cincinnati, and Houston, LA. I don't think may not have been NBC game of the week, but I picked those because I want to get all the teams in there. So the weeks I know that what the game was, I'll use it. But if I don't know what the game was, then I have to just kind of pick somebody and try to fill the gaps. There will be an All-Star game done, and that'll be on Inside Pitch once we get to that particular point. But just a quick rundown on all the games between now and the All-Star break. Next week, Toronto at Cleveland on Stratomatic. May 31st, it'll be St. Louis at Cincinnati, Status Pro. June 7th, and these dates are 1986 dates. June 7th, Astros at Dodgers on Inside Pitch. June 14th, Kansas City at California on Payoff Pitch. June 21st, Baltimore at Boston on Stratomatic. That was an actual NBC game. June 28th, Texas at Seattle on Status Pro. That was not a game, I'm sure, but I had to fit Texas and Seattle in there somewhere. July 5th, New York Yankees at the White Sox, which was a NBC game of the week. That's on Inside Pitch. And July 12th, Atlanta at the Mets on Payoff Pitch, which was an NBC game of the week. And then we go to the All-Star game. The only two teams that would not appear, actually the only team I think that did not appear in the first round or in the pre-All-Star break is, let's see, there are 2 teams. There's Montreal and there is Minnesota. Minnesota will be on July 26th, and Montreal will host the Mets on August the 9th. Minnesota will be at the Yankees on July 26th. So I know I had to put the Yankees and Mets in there, but they're playing the teams that I need to get in the game, so that's why they're there. Like I said, once you get more into the August and September, I may change some of these games around based on the standings and the Stratomatic replay, so I can get the games that matter for playoff purposes all the way. Earlier this morning, I did record matchup 4 in the Stratomatic Demolition League, game between the Seattle Mariners and the Houston Astros. That will upload probably on Monday, I'm guessing. Monday or Tuesday, but probably Monday. And then I got one more game to record. That is the Phillies and the Red Sox. That will finish out Series 7. And once I record that, then you're mainly looking at probably posting that on Thursday, I'm guessing. So that's going to do it from here. Like I said, I appreciate everyone who came in and joined me during the live stream. And for those that catch it later, I appreciate you checking the channel out. Kind of upset with myself that I didn't get the Philly coloring right. The base runners seem to be okay, but the blue here is just a little bit too dark for you to be able to see what's going on. But either way you go, bottom line result is it's the Phillies taking the Giants 3-1. 3 solo home runs, one by Schmidt, one by Hayes, and one by Dalton. And that was enough to do in Mr. Mike Krukow, who is, thank you, BB. I certainly appreciate that. I'm certainly saying my prayers for Gracie, too. I'm calling in my prayer miracle that she can walk again. So, walking in without my help, I should say. Or at least, if she can't, at least be able to go outside and do her business when I'm walking her with the sling. So I'm hoping she learns how to do that, if nothing else, just to try to give her a better quality of life. But I'm going to enjoy every day that I do have her, and I do feel for Anthony and the loss of his dog, because I thought I was going through that same thing last week, and I know the feeling. And I tell you, you think you love your dog a certain amount, but then when it comes up in front of you, it feels like you underestimated your love for your dog, and it's like I'm almost going to do anything to make her comfortable and happy, because she's made me happy for the last 15 and a half years. So I feel like, due to her loyalty, I feel like I owe it to her. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully by next Saturday, maybe she's doing better. We shall see. Like I said, take it day by day and see what happens. So let's go do it from here. I hope everybody is having a wonderful Saturday wherever you are. And like I said, we're in the middle of May, so getting close to summertime. The weather here in the East Coast is kind of rainy and cool. Well, it's not cool. It's like in the low 70s, but rainy and messy. So we're getting our spring in, and summertime hasn't really kicked in with the high heat yet, but I'm sure that's coming. Usually kicks off around Memorial Day is when that starts kicking in. So we shall see how it goes. But like I said, tune in tonight to RJL Network for his game between the Yankees and the Brewers in his playoff for the 1979 pennant in Inside Pitch. He does a great job with that. A lot of the energy in all of his broadcasts. He definitely puts out a lot of energy and really gets into the game, and he's just an Inside Pitch fan and guru. And I do enjoy Inside Pitch quite a bit. I did a whole replay of the Washington Nationals. I enjoyed it immensely. Inside Pitch is a great game. I like this where I'm rotating it because it kind of gives me some games that I don't get to play all the time. Payoff Pitch being one of them. So let's go do it from here. Again, thank you for all your well wishes, and thank you for tuning in. Be sure to check out anybody that has a channel on YouTube and support their effort, because they do put in a lot of work to get either their live streams or their uploads done. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And as usual, I will see you all down the road. So long, everybody.